Welcome back to Fee's Fresh Take. Once again, I have the co-founder of SilverCreek Insights, Daniel Pham. And today we're going to be talking about the power of partnership ecosystems. So you got the tech, you've got the vision, but do you have the village? Daniel, we throw around this term a lot. How do you define a partnership ecosystem, and how do you define a strong ecosystem?
Well, specifically as it relates to data or any technology, really, the partnership ecosystem is a group of individuals that are working on a team to get something done, just like anything else. But the technology landscape, especially within data applications and different software tools and tech, it's very complicated and it's confusing for customers. And it's important that these customers or these companies work together to create a solution that actually works for the client. And no one software tool is going to be the answer for the clients to be successful with data or AI in particular. And so they need to work together in this ecosystem to make sure that the client is successful. And that's what we focus on at Silver Creek. How do we bring it together? How do we make our customers successful and enable our partners to be the most effective they can to take care of the customer? That's what it's all about.
And why is it more critical now more than ever?
Now more than ever because it's more complicated than ever. And everyone's promising an AI tool or a magic button that's going to solve everything. And that's just not the reality. So we need to figure out how to eliminate some of the noise, understand based on the customer situation, what's the right setup and infrastructure for them, and how do we put all the pieces together to make it work.
No, and I completely agree with you, especially because when you look at I like saying like the old way of doing things versus the new way of doing things, but AI has really shifted the game. So the old way, it would have been like you find a cloud partner to work with, whether it's like AWS, Snowflake, you have some sort of data transformation tool, then you have something like Airbyte to help with the integrations, or you have Airflow. So there's so many like tech stacks that existed, but there's, like you mentioned, there's so many new tools available. Before there was only like Looker, Tableau. Now we have Omni Analytics. There's Secret Computing. There's so much going on, and it's complicated. Like the entire like data architecture that you need is so complicated. Like I'm working for a nonprofit right now, and I just reviewed their data architecture from the cloud to like the VPC endpoints, and there's a lot of moving pieces of the puzzle. But what are the missing puzzle pieces that most teams overlook? What do you think?
Well, it's tending to overcomplicate something that doesn't actually need to be that complicated. When you look at the overall infrastructure, the idea is to minimize the amount of tools and touch points in order to get a specific outcome that's bringing actual value to the business. And without using a bunch of cliches, I mean, we just need to eliminate a lot of the waste and create a very simple structure that will scale out. And the team has to work together. When I say the team, it's this ecosystem, again, of different companies working together to really solve one problem and one challenge, which is to make data and AI work for the client. And it's a lot of moving parts. And that's kind of where we come in to specialize is we bring everything together. We make sure that as almost like a team captain, all the pieces are working together, all the people on the team are doing their part and giving the client support so that they can put together this solution that works and that can scale and doesn't cost more than it should.
Yeah. Cost optimization and being very cost effective is incredibly important to clients. So that's always top of mind. And so like I know like some of our partners, we have Snowflake, DBT, Omni. How did you actually mobilize them to work with us?
Well, luckily, they're already partners with each other. Like they have a lot of the same type of clients. They do deals together. They're already in the same companies. But I think what they realize that's a missing piece is who brings it all together and who's going to coordinate. Because when the client is buying all these different tools, now they have another resource that's committed to each one of these tools, training, enablement, how to make it work, project management. And then they need to replicate that for each tool that they do. And when they work with us, they're able to basically have one team that can coordinate all of these different technologies to work together and also facilitate training, enablement, and resources from all the parties. And so it's really like we're one big team, one big party there to help them be successful. And it takes a little bit of team captain, like quarterbacking.
Mm-hmm.
And from our perspective, we're not selling any software on our own. So there's no conflict of interest with our partners. We're just there to make sure that everyone is successful from our partners as well as the clients, of course. And then we just replicate that more and more.
And I actually want to give a quick shout out to one of your recent LinkedIn posts because you talked about your recent work in Dubai. And you keep telling me that like the vibe is so different. And why do you think community driven partnerships are becoming the key to B2B selling?
Great question. And relationships are the answer. It's something where in a world like Dubai, where everyone is seemingly selling something or they are pushing something, just like a lot of places in the world, but everyone is moving quickly. And so you have to assume that some people will have agendas. And before you're going to buy into those, you need to know first, who is that person? What are their values? What do they see important? Like, how are they going to help you? And really, like, do you think that they're a good person? Do you have good chemistry with this person? And only then can you really start to work on business challenges when you
Mm-hmm.
trust the person and the relationship first before the transaction. And then everything else works from there. But I think it's a pretty cool system because it allows you to really formulate a business based on trust. And if you can really trust the person, you're going to give them more freedom to help you versus having to micromanage everything. And I do appreciate that approach here.
No, I completely agree. And I'm so happy that you mentioned trust. And I think you also mentioned like the energy. I think I heard something along those
We'll
lines
always
there.
feel one.
And it's crazy because, and I hate saying this, so many people can do what we do, like fresh take. But what makes us different are the people that you bring in, the trust that we establish, like the work that we can actually do. That's what separates it. Like that's how I find people to work with me. Honestly, I think they just like me, and then they're like, "I want to work with you." And I'm like, "Okay, cool, let's do it." But like, I'm nothing special besides like my personality. That's what makes it different. So having that trust and making sure it's like a two-way, like equal partnership is so important. Like how should companies show up when they want to build that two-way partnership, when they want you to know like, hey, like this actually isn't just like purely transactional, like people to people, like let's be human to human first.
Absolutely. Let's be human first. And this is who we're working with. To your point, we are a human services based business. And there's a lot of people in the world that are smart, that are talented, that can do it. But it ultimately comes down to who do you want to build this business relationship with and who do you trust to make it work? And ultimately, who do you like to work with? Same thing with tech partners. We're looking at technology, we're looking at
Mm-hmm.
process, and we're looking at people. Who are the people you want to work with? And how do they operate as a team? And it's the team coordination, which is really important to be successful. And this is something that I really can't stress enough because there's a million more than that great, amazing people that are individual contributors, but they need to work well in a team and they need to play their role to get a big mission accomplished. From team sports to company culture, this is the differentiator and how we're able to succeed and to do so in a way that's super lean and efficient because we have the team coordination, not internally just with our team, but with our tech partners and our clients,
Mm-hmm.
and the ability to manage a very complicated setup and make it simple.
So, another question. We've worked with so many different partners, and I don't know if you want to even say this. Maybe you could keep it as like high level and like abstract as possible. Was there any partnership that surprised you, good or bad?
I feel like nothing really surprises me anymore, but maybe some lessons learned about what has been a common theme for the ones that haven't been so successful versus the ones that have been very successful. And ultimately, it comes down to it has to be a joint partnership
Mm-hmm.
where both are putting in inputs to build and communicate and have an action plan about how do we separate, divide, and conquer to be successful. When there's overlap or there's intention with one partner doing way more than the other, sometimes it just doesn't work. But when we can communicate exactly what we need and then play the roles, it's a lot more effective. So it's a little bit general, right? But that's the truth.
You know what? It kind of sounds like a tango class. You give a little, you take a little. You give a little, you take a little. But it's all, both tango partners are equal in this aspect. And one knows when they need to lead, the other knows. So it's like that energy, that understanding, and that mutual agreement.
Yeah, trust, accountability, and follow through on what you say you're going to do. I mean, this is the integrity part. I think people get pretty busy in what they're doing, but if they can focus and say, look, I committed to do X, Y, and Z, we're going to accomplish it by this time. If everyone does that piece and everyone does their role, it's going to accomplish really big results and the customer is going to be super happy.
I completely agree. And I now want to do, because we're coming up on time, I want to do a rapid fire, do this, not that. So I'm going to say what not to do, and then you're going to say what you should do instead.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
Are you ready? Okay. Don't ask for a partnership on the first message.
Figure out who the person is and if you align on values first.
Okay. Don't assume a one size fits all pitch will work.
Customize based on the current situation and their goals.
Do not focus only on what you need.
But also, what would be nice to have? I don't know. I just said that one.
So it would be, do not focus on what you need. Do lead with how you can add value to them.
Got it. I'll let you run with that one.
Okay. Do not reply only on emails.
Follow up, multiple modes of communication, and just communicate. People are busy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Don't forget to follow up.
But don't be annoying and do too much. There's a fine line. It's an art and a science.
Don't try to close it in one message.
You're solving a big problem. It takes time. Be strategic, step by step.
Okay, there we go. Those were great. And off the top of your head, too. So just to wrap it up, here's the thing. People buy from ecosystems, not individuals. To succeed in this market, it's like you have to start acting like you're part of a winning team and find the gaps in your own partner activation. Invest in those human relations because no tech stack will sell itself. And that, my friends, is your fresh take. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.